Academic writing's old guard spent decades waging war on personal pronouns. Students scrambled to construct elaborate passive sentences just to avoid using I. The result? Countless papers filled with awkward phrases like "it was observed that," when "I observed" would have worked perfectly fine. But the tides have turned in modern academia. Many leading journals now accept and even encourage strategic use of first-person pronouns. This shift recognizes what good writers knew all along. Sometimes, the clearest way to present research is to acknowledge the researcher behind it. At its core, first person refers to pronouns that directly signal the author's presence. Some examples would be using I for singular, we for plural, and my or our for possessive forms. These words explicitly position you within the work. For example, this is like saying, "I argue that this interpretation better explains the evidence," or "we conducted a survey across 3 universities." For much of the 20th century, Strunk and White's elements of style encouraged authors to place themselves in the background. This preference aligned with values of objectivity and scientific detachment. By removing the author, the text seemed to solely focus on facts. But here's the thing, this tradition ignores reality. All scholarship carries interpretation by default. The academic landscape shifted for good reason. First, clarity beats vagueness. "I collected the data" is clear, while "the data was collected" sounds vague and like no one owns the work. Second reason, ownership shows credibility. Your ideas are yours. Saying "I argue" stakes your claim instead of hiding behind "it was argued." And the third reason, transparency helps readers trust. Especially in qualitative research, admitting "I interviewed participants" shows that you're upfront about your role. Warning: not all fields treat first person equally. First, in the humanities and social sciences, first person is widely accepted here and sometimes even expected. For example, in this paper, I explore how identity shapes narrative voice. How about in the natural sciences field? It's traditionally discouraged, but acceptance is growing. It's usually used cautiously in the methods section. For example, saying "we measured." But you should definitely avoid using first person in the results section, where objectivity matters the most. And how about in fields like medicine and psychology? Here, first person is becoming increasingly common in methods and discussions. Despite the advantages, overuse of first-person pronouns can undermine your writing. First, through excessive subjectivity. Using "I believe" repeatedly often weakens authority. Second, through self-focus. First-person pronouns shifts the attention from the research to the researcher. And lastly, through inappropriate tones. In highly technical contexts, the word "I" can feel out of place. You should match pronouns to context. "I" implies a single author, while "we" implies coworkers or the researcher and the reader. Use first person for actions, arguments, and positioning. Keep data presentation objective. For example, it is more acceptable to say "I collected survey responses." But when it comes to presenting results, you'd better write "survey responses revealed patterns." Here are some guidelines for each section. In the introduction, it's usually acceptable to use first person. For example, saying "in this paper, I argue that," but avoid saying phrases like "I think this is interesting." Now in the methods section, it's becoming increasingly common to use first person. For example, "we administered tests to 300 subjects." In the results, typically you have to stay objective, minimal first person. In the discussion, there's been strong use of first person recently. For example, saying phrases such as "we interpret these findings as," and in the conclusion, it's appropriate to use first person. For example, "I recommend further study in ... Don't be afraid to use first person in your academic work. The key lies in understanding your field's expectations and wielding these pronouns purposefully. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to check out Jenny, where we help authors write as efficiently as possible. The link is in the description box below. Happy writing! Hi, Shane from Jenny here. Thank you for watching the video. Jenny is an all-in-one writing workspace that's designed specifically for students, researchers, and academics. Jenny helps you write with smart suggestions that include citations, manage all of your sources in one place, paraphrase your writing into any tone, and it also offers a smart Jenny chat, which is basically ChatGPT but tailored specifically for academics. You can try it out for free today. Link is in the description box. See you in the next video.